Hey, everybody. Welcome to Comic Book Curation for as long as it lasts. I am Polly, and joining me, as always, is Inquisitor 8.1 Quiz. How are you doing this week?
Taking the over-under on how long it takes for the stream to get shut down. $5 donation. $5. We'll give you 20 if we make it to 3 hours.
3 hours. Wow. I don't give us anywhere near that long. And rounding out our triumvirate of awesome is Jack, the third of our shutdown crew. Jack, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing okay. How about yourself?
Well, I'm trepidatious, I believe is the word. I don't know what's gonna happen, man. Somebody said quit being a wuss. Everyone gets shut down. I'm like, hey, it's my first time.
They weren't gentle.
It wasn't very gentle.
Like,
How did we both go to the same place?
It was abrupt. They didn't ask for my consent. It was. Yeah, I have no idea.
Didn't even tell you to bite the pillow.
Well, yeah, and I've got the back end of YouTube up right now, and it says 0 concurrent viewers. So it's like I'm waiting for the pop-up. Is it your stream is for nondescript reasons that we refuse to get into?
That we refuse to tell you.
Yeah. Well, for those of you who don't know, thank you, Vol Potato, by the way, for dropping our link so quickly, because God knows we got to get shit done fast before, YouTube yeets us. Last week we did get yeeted midstream. Still no idea why. I now get to make the complaints that so many other content creators have on YouTube, and you've no doubt heard made. They said that we violated community guideline standards. Full stop. No further explanation given. And yes, I have the ability to appeal it. And there's a little box that you're supposed to type in that says, please explain why you think our finding that you violated community guideline standards was an error. Well,
because I don't know what I did.
Right. Are you fucking kidding me? And it's like, when it says community guideline standards, it's a hyperlink that you can click on, and it takes you to the booklet of community guideline standards that goes on for fucking ever. Like, if you were to print it out, I'm sure it'd be at least 20 pages. It could have been anything in there. Like, guys, do you know how many things we don't do that violate community guideline standards? Like, there was like excessive swearing was one of them, and I'm like, oh, we're fucked. Yeah. Is it the thumbnail thing, maybe? Because, I've had thumbnails pulled because they're too damn sexy. I mean, keeping in mind, chat, you can go ahead and look for full nude female yoga on YouTube. There's just buck naked, fit as fuck, fine as fuck women doing yoga. And it counts as educational because they're doing yoga. So yeah, you want to go jerk off to something on YouTube? There you go.
Well, no, there's even better, dude. There's straight up softcore porn.
Jack and Quiz are a bit quiet. Let me do an adjustment on that then.
Yeah, no, there's straight up softcore porn, dude. It's all behind the age restriction, but yeah, there straight up is. See, that's the thing that we could, if Polly goes and puts the tags in correctly and does all the ticky boxes and all that kind of shit, we could have, I'm sure the thumbnails are perfectly fine. We could have straight up fucking, jungle fantasies fucking pages on the thumbnails, straight up titties and butts everywhere.
But, you're talking about straight up age gate our shit.
Yes,
yeah.
It would have to be age gated.
Yeah. Well, I could do that. I mean, I don't know how many people watch us who don't have an account, so you'd have to sign in or whatever, but I don't know.
Well, it's bullshit too, because you shouldn't need to age gate something that isn't straight up pornographic or anything like that. We're not pornographic, and our thumbnails never have been.
Yeah, you know what? I still hold to the idea that look, it's not my fault that they're wearing a cat suit that's skin tight. They're not naked. YouTube bots, get with the program.
Look, the Gibby Swagger bot, as we're gonna call it, doesn't approve of your exploitation of women.
Yeah,
they have to be dressed in full body burqas, with the little vent piece for eyes. Only that is acceptable. Only images of dusk. That's it.
That's the thing. I guarantee you, there's an image out there, a comic book image, comic book illustration of a sexy woman in a burqa. Guarantee you, I can find one, Jack.
Oh yeah, I know you can, but that would at least be acceptable because she looks like she's wearing a Glad bag.
Mm. Thank you, Cryptic, for the $5. Look, Polly, I don't knock around a crippled homeless guy overdosing on meth to get this $5 to give you for nothing. He's okay, I think, since I saw the medic stitch a few needles in his face. And thank you, Cult of Krill, for the $5. I think Inquisitor going hard on the infected Deathbringer got last week's stream brought down. Fuck Zoe. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that was the time that it happened. That's true, Krill. Thanks, Quiz.
Well, no, well, to be fair,
I stand by everything I said.
Yeah, fuck Zoe Quinn.
Don't get us yeeted again, Quiz. Jeez, because you're bad mouthing Zoe Quinn, you were bad mouthing Kevin McGinnis, and somebody else.
I stand by everything I said.
I know, but there was a lot going on, and it could have been anything.
I know.
It may have been something that happened 30 minutes before that, so who knows?
Fuck all of them.
If they're not going to give you a specific reason, then we don't know what to modify.
Yeah.
Damn right. I do know where to start this week's, though. Because, oh, hold on. Let's actually, what's the Andrew Breitbart line? Walk into the fire? Now, I'm not exactly going up against media moguls or anything, but fuck you, YouTube. Jesus fucking Christ. What the fuck? Here.
Fuck you, Susan.
I, for one, love Susan. I think she is spectacular and doing a great job.
You need to get your work on your robot voice there, Jack.
Oh, yeah, I can't. I only do 2 voices.
Oh.
One of them is this one.
So this is something I came across just today when I was fucking around. Foreign DCX, foreign
Kotobukiya.
Whatever. Catwoman statue. And it's only $70 and it's based on Catwoman from Hush.
Yeah. It's the Kotobukiya Bishoujo series. It's they I can't remember the name of the designer, but it's a Japanese designer takes American comic book characters and
looks Japanese to me.
Makes very, very pretty. That's literally what Bishoujo means. It means pretty girl.
I'm okay with this.
Pretty girl statues. I have the Harley Quinn one.
Woohoo!
Shoujo.
Yeah, this is great.
Konnichiwa to Shoujo.
I mean, for $70, yeah, he did a good job. I am not sure why Catwoman's running around with her zipper all the way down, but no complaints here. Wow, he really put the thigh gap in there for Jack. Look at that.
That's in there for everybody. That's where love is made, is the thigh gap. That's why it's shaped like a heart.
So yeah, that's why we're starting off with sexy imagery because, whatever, man.
Because we didn't learn a damn thing.
That's right. We learned nothing. And let's hear it for Jim Lee for some awesome character design for Catwoman. Am I right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jim Lee's still winning, man. Fuck.
Hey, like I said, I've got the Kotobukiya Harley Quinn.
No one can see it. Hold on. Well, hold on. There we go. Yes, everyone can see the box that's shining and can't see what's there. We go.
And I say it's also really kind of dusty.
Well, don't open it. You'll ruin its value.
I've already opened it.
Oh, okay.
Here.
Already destroyed the value. It's
oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Look at the size of her hammer.
Yeah, right.
Say
I've got other pets too. All the Femme Fatale was the line, but this one in particular is the coat. So you want to see a really cool one? There's the Power Girl and Black Canary.
Nice.
Really want to get the Black Canary.
Zombie Teddy asked, how does she keep the girls in that suit? Tape. Double-sided tape. Do you remember when we did the... oh, no, you guys, that was on Noir Bar. When
fingers aren't the only thing that's sticky.
We, on Noir Bar, we went over Kim Kardashian's custom double-sided titty tape. She has brand name titty tape.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
But why?
Because she uses it all the time, and other thoughts like her who need to keep their nipples enclosed while still showing off most of their breasts need tape. So why not sell that too? They sell makeup, they sell shoes, they sell, feminine hygiene products. Why not titty tape?
Well, you know, when you're riding horseback talking about your not so fresh feeling with your mom, you don't want the kids popping out, right?
Well, okay.
Quiz, check your Streamlabs.
Oh, best things for that. Thank you, Cryptic. I have never stole money for you, bud. So here's the cash I stole from the crippled homeless child that was waiting to be picked up by the adoption agency. Too bad the kid only tipped over his wheelchair because he almost did a wheelie.
Jesus.
And say, next time, it's real simple. Just find a flight of stairs.
Holy Christ. When you see, like, I mean, Zombie Tay's talking about, like, how she keep him in the suit. When you see it from, like, certain angles, it becomes ever more, yeah, how the hell does she? And you do the complete rotation. I mean, that's, yeah, it's a really well done sculpture. Well done, sir. I mean, I thought Sideshow was doing great work, but, hey.
Oh, yeah, no, the Kotobukiya line is. I also have a really cool Harley Quinn from the guy who did all of the designs for Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
And that one's all like, it's all techno futuristic and shit, and it looks really cool. But yeah, no, I've got a ton of exactly what you were talking about when you showed the Kotobukiya line.
Now, of all, it isn't just sexy women that I think, sexy comic book characters that are female that I think should be in statues, because the sideline, sideshow, I'm pretty sure the dark, the nightmare rather was Sideshow, wasn't it? The Batman Nightmare.
Yes.
Yeah. And it was fucking cool as fuck. But
yeah, I mean, my favorite one is the Green Arrow one of that, where he's like on the peak.
Oh yeah.
So cool.
So it's not always women, just mostly. And everybody, okay, hold on. I want to make that point right now. When everybody talks about BVS, everything that they talk about is Martha. They talk about that one scene. And okay, you know what? I get it. But that movie also has the nightmare sequence in it, which is the coolest part of that fucking movie.
Well, the problem with that scene, okay, it's not the fact that it was, badly shot. It wasn't. It wasn't that it was a bad concept. It wasn't. It's the fact that it didn't go anywhere. It came out of left field and it didn't go anywhere.
No, it didn't. It had nothing to do with the movie. It was supposed to be, it was, they even called it the nightmare sequence with a K, right? And it was kind of a clever name for it, but it wasn't a dream because he wakes up and then the Flash shows up. Like, what the? Yeah, nobody knows what the hell it was. It was an interesting vignette that was strangely cut into the middle of a movie it had nothing to do with. That's what was good.
The original storyline was that throughout all the movies, because they were going to interconnect the Flash movie, Wonder Woman, and all that, Bruce was going to have these little flashpoint moments,
right,
where he was seeing the future. They just never did it again in any of the other movies.
Well, if anything says Zack Snyder in terms of his approach to the DCEU and using canonical material for it, it would be something like that, right? I mean, when you watch Batman v Superman, how many different comic book story arcs are oddly surgically Frankenstein together to create that movie?
Yeah.
I mean, the death of Superman and Dark Knight Returns, and then part of Flashpoint Paradox, and then it's what the fuck is.
Thank you, Cult of Krill. I would tongue punch Selena Kyle's fart box. Just saying.
Real fast, thank you, Cryptic. Jack, sorry, man. This 5 I stole from the Childhood Cancer Foundation. I mean, it's terminal, so it's not like they'll be able to enjoy this after it's over. You deserve this more. Thanks, Cryptic.
Ebony Williams asked, did you find out what happened to your last stream? Nope. That would require me to do a appeal, and I have no idea how to even. It's like, oh, fuck you guys. Fine, take it, bastards. It didn't result in a strike anyway, so I'm not really all that worried about it. But still, it's kind of a piss off.
We're actually here, which is something that we can't say if it was a strike. So it was obviously not a strike, which is good.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know how long we're going to be here for. You guys let me know when the stream goes down, because I'm assuming at some point, maybe, or never again. Who the fuck knows? Fuck you, YouTube.
I sincerely hope that what I said during the opening was a joke. Thank you. This is Kyle. Hello, chat people and comic nerds. Thank you.
Let's start with something that's personally got me concerned. Rumor, Star Trek Deep Space Nine reboot in discussions for Paramount.
I say, did you see that that little thing that went on with oh god, what's her name? The actress that plays Deanna Troy.
Yeah, Marina Sirtis. Yeah.
Yeah, Marina Sirtis. She had a little dust up
We're,
with.
we're, hold on. We got it. It's fine.
We're gonna get there.
We're, okay. I didn't because I didn't know if it was related or.
Current story on the screen. Let's talk about the next three.
Well, I just wanted to bring that up because I thought it was really.
No. We'll I've got it. We'll get there. Fuck you, Marina Sirtis.
Okay.
Captain
You're
Sisko.
good to her.
Captain Sisko may finally fulfill his promise to return to his wife from the Bajoran fire caves. That's pretty inside baseball, as well as spoilers. As new rumor claims that a reboot of Star Trek Deep Space Nine is currently being discussed at CBS because they didn't fuck Picard hard enough.
They're like, well, that one's broken. Let's find another toy to play with.
Yeah, we've completely destroyed this beloved franchise. What else do we have? According to...
I can't wait for the reboot of Voyager. Maybe then Jack might actually like it.
Only if they got a real space panther, not a sea monkey.
You know what I was thinking about last night, Jack?
Sea monkeys?
No,
Space?
no. I was watching Voyager last night, actually,
Oh,
and it reminded me I've in the earlier seasons of Voyager, Captain Janeway is always saying Chakotay with a little bit of extra flourish, going Chakotay, and when I was first watching that show back in the day, I always thought Chakotay sounded like an off-brand of loose leaf tobacco.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought like it was some sort of like rip-off Native American.
That's why every time somebody touches him on the shoulder, a cigar appears out of his chest.
Yeah, but I mean, it never really sounded like a name exactly as it sounded like a really made up, like off-brand. Like, hey man, you got to smoke? No, all I got is that old dry pouch of Chakotay. Sorry.
Yeah, Chakotay. Giving me the shakes, man.
I like to smoke Chakotays, man.
When I need a cool, refreshing taste, I reach for my closest pack of Chakotay.
That's all we have at the home, but I like to sneak in some Chakotays, man.
Okay, so according to Geekosity's Mike Sutton, CBS is considering reviving Star Trek Deep Space Nine for the upcoming Paramount Plus channel. Oh, okay. It's like, wait a minute. They're doing a second one? No, I get it now. The 2021 rebranding of CBS All Access, which has been somewhat of a dismal failure. Unfortunately, Sutton also announced that, quote, details are scarce as the show hasn't been greenlit yet, but has been discussed because we needed another corpse to dig up and fuck. If true, Sisko would join Starfleet leaders Captain Picard, who's been fucked, Commander Riker, who's now virtually bald, and Captain Janeway, leave it alone, Jack, and is being revived for the Kurtzman era. The Kurtzman era. Fuck me. Alex Kurtzman, can you,
fuck off?
I swear, one day I'm going to walk into my parents' house and seeing them tearing up pictures of my childhood, too. Haven't you fucked enough beloved things from my yesteryear years?
Apparently not. Oh, Polly likes this one too. Let's take a shit all over it. Jason Mimosa said so.
I know. Alex Kurtzman did the Discovery and Picard. I know he's done something else too. What else did he do?
Oh, movies. He's had his fingerprints all over the fucking films. He also did. He's a executive producer of whatchamacallit too. Lower Decks. The animated one?
Mm-hmm,
yeah. The crappy ripoff Rick and Morty. Hey, Monkey, thanks for popping by. We appreciate the likes. Thank you very much. And Ebony says, hashtag polyrants. Well, it's not so much a rant. Everybody hates Alex Kurtzman. The only people who don't are fucking Paramount. When the fuck are they going to clue in that nobody likes your friend?
Look, this is going to be... The Kurtzman era is going to be referred to like when people talk about the fall of Rome and like the Dark Ages. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be the Dark Ages of Star Trek.
Right?
Wow. Okay. So he did he was the director, writer, and producer for The Mummy.
Oh, okay.
2017 Mummy.
That's the one with Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise, yeah.
Oh, what a garbage fire.
Right? He was the writer and producer for The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
uh, that's a winning record right there.
He's the writer and producer for Star Trek Into Darkness.
Mm.
And I've heard that that one was probably the best one. The Red Letter Media said that that was the one of the three new Star Trek movies that
Yeah.
Mike Stacklasa actually liked.
Yeah. Of the three, that is the best one.
That's
Okay.
a low bar.
Yeah.
And I still haven't seen it. He was the director, writer, and executive producer for People Like Us. I've never heard that one. He was the writer and producer for Cowboys and Aliens.
Hold on, really quick. Thank you, Gamer Valine, for the donation. You got kicked because they assume you're white men attacking Her Majesty, who shall not be named. I sent proof on Twitter. Oh no. What did you do, Gamer Valine?
No.
Chakotay!
no. He was also, let's see here, the writer for all the way down Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, the first of the Star Trek reboots. He's uncredited as the script polish for The Watchmen.
Surprise. Fuck.
Yeah.
Listen, so the list is long, okay? Yeah. And what bugs me about that is it goes to serve as evidence for the thing we complain about all the time. With Hollywood is really only like 50 fucking people. You know, who write the majority of things, who produce the majority of things, and direct the majority of things. It's actually not that many. Like Damon Lindelof. Have you not fucked up enough stuff that people are not going to hire this guy anymore? No. Apparently, every studio executive has been blackmailed by a group of 75 people in a cartel that have compromising pictures of them all, and so they keep getting hired. It's the only thing that I can deduce. Like, Damon Lindelof is not a magic writer. As a matter of fact, the thing that people complain about the most when it comes to stuff he's involved in is how confusing and contrived everything that he does, period. And now he's turned into like social justice warrior extreme. He's the script writer and story editor for Watchmen. He's the one who came up with that idea that, well, the original Watchmen was about the threat of atomic warfare. And in our day, that threat is most certainly racial injustice. Like, thanks, Damon.
Hold on. It's the movie, not the TV.
What?
The Watchmen.
Watchmen what?
That he was the uncredited script polish for.
No, I was complaining about Damon Lindelof now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
he merged onto another hat.
I just wanted to be clarified here. Is that he was the script polish for the.
Oh, I bet there was some polishing going on.
So hold on. So you got Kurtzman and Lindelof both around Watchmen. Is Watchmen some kind of like gravitational source for suckage?
Man, well, see, okay, you say that, but you were just singing the praises of oh God, what's his name?
Schneider,
yeah, and he was the director of Watchmen.
Yeah, it's not like Zack Snyder hasn't done a good job on certain things. Like 300 was fucking fantastic. Watchmen is a long slog. It's too hard to get through for me. I'm not saying it's a bad film. It's just too long of a slog. I love it. And he's the creative genius behind the Schlang and Blue Schlong, and I'll never let that go.
Hey, to be fair, the Schlong was in the.
I don't care. It didn't bounce. I didn't have to actually see it slapping off his glowing blue thighs.
Okay, it's a good point. It's a good point.
Okay, so anyway, back to the article we have at hand here. Whether its revival could prove as disastrous for Sisko's character as Picard did for Captain Picard's remains to be seen. But Kurtzman's abysmal track record of quality as a producer on the franchise, expectations for the revival will most likely be non-existent. Yes.
Kurtzman is willing to give it the old college try. And fuck it up. I mean, it's a high bar to make it as bad as Picard, but he's up to that challenge.
Well, I'll say he already made it bad with Picard, so you know he can. Yeah, fairly certain he can do it again.
Yeah. So I mean, there it is. The rest of the article is just summing up D Space Nine and why it's liked, and then the Dominion storyline because it took Star Trek storytelling in a different direction, which it absolutely did. So yeah, we're all worried. We're all concerned. It's
No, I'm not concerned. I know it's going to be shit because if this idiot's touching it, it's going to be garbage like everything else has been out of Star Trek in the last 10 years.
It's like, wait a minute, we have a captain of color, so Captain Sisko will come back from being with the prophets, because he disappeared from the fire caves in the final scene to go hang out with the prophets in the season finale. Spoilers. And he's going to come back, what? A trans woman?
The actor go nuts.
No,
he didn't go nuts. He always was nuts. He could just hide it on camera. He's a professional.
Oh, fair.
There's no way he can possibly come back as a woman, Polly. You said it yourself. He's a captain of color. He's a cock.
No, they downloaded consciousness into one of the trills, or the little worm things that go in people.
Yeah.
And he comes back as one of those, as a trans disabled woman of color.
Right. Remember when we were talking about those stories of people were reading trans stuff into the trills?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
God, that was fucking weird.
Yeah.
Man, you guys are... I guess it wasn't as much of a reach as when the creators of The Matrix were reading trans stuff back into their own creation, but damn, it was pretty fucking out there.
Gamer Valine brings up a good point, but I do have to counter it in some sort of way. She said that Zack Snyder can work with a good script. I would say that Zack Snyder is a really good videographer. Is a very good director of cinematography. He's definitely good at making an interesting and very stylized visual. I think that he is a garbage writer himself.
So when he had like 300, so he has the good story and he's got it like storyboarded out for himself, and then he can visually produce it quite well, and thus you liked 300.
Yes.
Did you see how I just maneuvered Quiz into admitting that Frank Miller's awesome? Did everyone notice that?
I know that. Hey, you know what, Holly? I even like the 300 comic book, and I own it.
Well, of course you do. It was awesome.
It's a good comic book.
I
am not saying that Frank Miller farts rainbows and says that he can do no wrong. He can do plenty wrong.
Oh no,
excuse me. You have no evidence he does not fart rainbows. As far as you know, every time he farts, it's like Rainbow Bright's like, a new rainbow is born.
No, I don't. I think Frank Miller can do plenty wrong, because I've read Dark Knight 4, The Golden Child, and that was just, what the hell? Like, I still don't even understand what the hell happened in that comic, but you guys should read Dark Knight 3, The Master Race, because it was awesome.
No one who farts rainbows can write RoboCop 2.
Okay. We're going to
have a really skewed view of that.
Yeah, you do. I don't even understand the beef you have with them.
The only good RoboCop was the first movie.
Let me tell you a little story. When I was younger, I saw RoboCop 2 in the theater when it came out.
Who's surprised? Who?
Yeah, well, I'm old, okay? It was a double billing with Navy SEALs. Now, if you watched
the Charlie Sheen movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me finish.
All right.
If you went and saw Navy SEALs, you got to see RoboCop 2 for free. So we did that. And I'll tell you what, RoboCop 2 will look like fucking Citizen Kane if you watch it after Navy SEALs. You will appreciate the writing and nuance and vision of that movie if you simply watch Navy SEALs before it.
Okay. Point taken.
Jack Gunsky sums up pretty good. It's like, hey, I like RoboCop 2. It's not RoboCop, but it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun popcorn film.
Fucking right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's
they can't all be cinema veritas.
But we all agree here that Tron Legacy is a great superhero film, am I right?
Fuck yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It had the dude in it too.
It did. Yeah,
need I
Zen
bring up
dude.
the joke? Need I bring up the joke again and again? Tron Legacy is great because you get to see Jeff Bridges fighting Jeff Bridges on a bridge.
Yeah.
It's great because it looks cool, and Olivia Wilde's awesome in tight leather. That's. I think that movie's underrated, considering that it's a Disney film and they're like what do they call that? A soft reboot or whatever? Because it is a reboot, but it's like real. It is canonical, but they're attempting to reboot it at the same time. Yeah. How many times is that ever actually successful? Not often. So like, let's look at Tron Legacy and go, okay, well done. You achieved it. Because most times it's, pretty shitty. Look at Force Awakens. Well, let's just remake A New Hope and pretend that we didn't. Looking at you, JJ.
Well, Disney used to be good at their job, and now they're not.
Well, let's find.
Oh. Yeah, functional said Jeff Bridges has lymphoma.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
really?
awful.
Yeah, a day ago. It was just announced that he has lymphoma.
Ooh.
Everybody says that dude is really nice, so that's
Yeah.
a real shame.
Oh, and Gil Cotto brought up the Daft Punk score for Tron Legacy, which is just beyond epic. It's so good.
Daft Punk are actually in that movie too.
Yes, they are, but just to here's something that's never popular for people to hear. You should really open up the liner notes or look them up online. Daft Punk actually did very little production on that. It was mostly done by Remote Control Productions, which is a movie score production studio. They did some of the melodies, the EDM sounding Boots and Cats stuff. That is Daft Punk. The rest of it, no. Just take a look at the credits for it. They have actually have very few on there. They're put on the front to kind of,
sell.
Yeah. Hello, fellow kids.
Yeah.
And again, I adore that score. I think it's fucking epic. I've listened to a whole fuck ton, but just saying. I blame Jack for this story, so we're gonna look at it now. And
love it too. When Daft Punk were put in that movie, all they did was just put them under a blue light. They still were wearing the helmets that they wear at their live shows.
Yeah, they didn't really even do much, but whatever. It's why not? They fit right into the computerized world, so it works. Let's see. Very creepy looking Funimation voice actor Chris Thurman claims responsibility for sending sexually explicit photos to an underage fan. I mean, look at that guy. Ladies
who
in
doesn't think that a candy van?
I mean, seriously, ladies in the audience, can you imagine this guy at any age sending pictures to you? Fucking hell.
I want to see pictures of my sweaty penis. He's got the stringy long hair that when you're going bald you never do.
Right.
Yeah, he's got a skullet going on. Yeah.
He doesn't need to look like that. That's the part. That's why it's okay to make fun of the way he looks.
If he simply put on a ratty t-shirt, he'd look like a hobo.
Yeah. Like trim your hair, trim your beard, lose a little bit of weight, and put on a baseball hat when someone's taking a picture of you. Okay. See there, you don't look nearly as well. He still looks like he owns a van. It's not helping. Okay. After initial publication of this article, Funimation informed Anime News Network that voice actor Chris Thurman will no longer be engaged by the dub producer for any or current future productions. Oh no! So yeah, he's done. He got tubined right out of the industry apparently. Chris Thurman, a Funimation voice actor, has provided additional voices in numerous anime productions, has admitted to sending unsolicited photographs of himself to an underage fan after a fan publicly accused him of a criminal act on social media. The accusation was first leveled against Thurman on October 18th when an anonymous account by the handle of Exposing Chris Thurman, subtle, published a twit longer post that claimed the actor is also known on the side as an accidental serial dick pic sender, sending pics of Richard Nixon to unsuspecting girls. Accordingly,
I assure you those are not accidental.
I didn't mean to, I swear.
Serial accidental dick pic.
Yeah.
I love the phrasing.
Yeah, it says a lot, doesn't it? According to screenshots of a conversation between Thurman and one of his fans in question, Thurman initially claimed that he did not mean to send the picture and attempted to clarify that the act was not intentional. Lol, that's okay. Could have happened to anyone. Don't worry.
So Jack Gunsky says, looks at Chris Thurman's credit page. My God, this guy's been in nothing. I beg to differ, my good sir. He's been in a ton of stuff, but he is literally no one. He is credited as additional voices in literally everything he does. He's a nobody. This dude is a nobody, and the industry will not suffer for his passing.
Look how long this conversation goes on for, and this person just keeps telling them it's no big deal, it's no big deal. Apparently they changed their mind after the conversation went on for fucking ever. Holy shit. I guess you guys can go back and pause if you want to read. So anyway, this guy did some shit and he's no longer working for Funimation. Fuck.
Now, can we do the same thing with Monica Rial?
Everybody at Funimation should be fired at this.
Yeah, pretty much.
The other way at Rooster Teeth and just shut down because they're a bunch of idiots.
Now, I don't know how many of you saw the thumbnail of I was trying to find as demure yet still attractive picture because I thought maybe we got yeeted because of the repeated thumbnail things. I have had 8 thumbnails. No, I think it's more thumbnails taken down because, oh, they're just too sexy. Oh my God. Listen, I actually read through the community guidelines when it came to thumbnail standards for custom thumbnails. And one of them says no sexualized content. And you should read the way that it, like the actual wording. It says anything that somebody might become sexually aroused by. Are you fucking kidding me? There's furries out there, for God's sake, that are going to get sexually aroused by, Pokemon pictures.
It's got letters in it, man. You have no idea how hot that is.
How could I possibly be responsible for what the women are attractive, fit, and superpowered most of the time, or armed. So what? It just bugs me. Are you kidding me? Philip DeFranco built a fucking empire off of having bouncing titties in his fucking thumbnails, and that son of a bitch has turned into a fucking trend whore now. Oh, now that I've gotten as far as I can off of fucking titties, I'll just fucking promote myself by looking up what's currently trending and talking about it as if it's the new big thing. Oh, did you hear what happened to Pokimane? Oh, Shoe-On Head's all in the news. Like, I mean, really? All right, I'm done.
I was gonna say the whole thing with that going on. It's ASMR is a thing, people.
Right.
If you're talking about things that arouse people, our little comic book show should be the furthest thing from your concern when there's an entire segment of YouTube that's literally for jacking off.
Right. And I mean,
not educated.
Prospero makes a great point. There's been porn about the coronavirus. Like, it's gone that far in the sense of, like, people can be aroused by anything. So it's not really the wording that I'm pissed off at. It's the intention behind them putting it like that, where I don't know, but it's easy to guess that all of it is so vague on purpose so they can yeet you at any time and always have an explanation for why they did it. Because the category is so incredibly broad of how you can violate that everybody all the time is always violating. So if they want to yeet you, bye.
It comes down to if they don't like you anymore.
Yeah. And it's Jack Gunsky says, Philly, piss on that gate closer. And there's the thing. It's like, he annoys me because of the kind of material that he engages in, but it's the gate closing thing that keeps me going, that keeps me pissed off. Because you started on this and then acted like you didn't. And then I'm going to keep those streams and videos up, Philly says, because, well, I kind of want to remember how far I've come and the douchebag I used to be like. Until I'm sorry?
They still making money.
And I don't want to take the view count hit, because when you put a video private or delete it, it pulls the views off of there, and he doesn't want the algorithm hit. But when it came to the point where old videos were starting to get yeeted and strikes occurred, go to his Social Blade page and take a look at the 2+ billion, that's with a B, billion dip in his views when he deleted everything from date X back when he was doing pure titties. Fuck that guy, man. It's like Jack Gunsky says, the gate closing thing that drives me fucking crazy. It's like people who come up as Sarah Silverman, who come up as raw comedians, cracking every racist, sexy joke that they can think of to get noticed. And then once they got noticed, oh, it's wrong to do that. Oh, fuck you. Because you've evolved, right? Anyway, G.I. Joe, Operation Blackout. You guys heard about this game?
Oh.
That's why in the thumbnail is Baroness today. Not actually, it happened in reverse. It was a lucky coincidence. But, nonetheless, I actually put that up there because Quiz is all aroused by... Oh, no, wait a minute. Quiz isn't aroused by Baroness because we're... Yeah, we're not here to arouse people.
I was say, and the fact that you get to play as her, I'm extremely intrigued. I kind of want to check out this game now. I had no idea this was even in production.
I thought it was interesting. Why I think the story is interesting because it's like G.I. Joe, like as a first-person shooter or as like a tactical game or something like that. It never occurred to me to use that property in that way. Duh. Like that's a great idea. You know what I mean? I don't know why.
Yeah, it's kind of like occurring to me. It's the same thing with like Transformers, because I've heard like the like War for Cybertron is supposed to be a really fucking awesome game, but I've never played it. So like hearing that there's going to be a GI Joe one, I don't want this to fall through my fingers like War for Cybertron did. I need to check this out.
But it turns out that the guy from Geeks and Gamers didn't like it at all. He gave it a bad review. So the devs get a hold of him and say, really, what would you like to see different in it then? Where were the problems? It's like, wait, what? Really? They actually did that.
That's really cool.
That's what I'm saying. That's why this story is interesting to me. Earlier this month, Griggs posted a review of the game saying, quote, it's not that good of a game based on what I've seen so far. It's not a good game, but it is a good G.I. Joe experience. And if you are not a Joe, I don't think you're going to find anything that you're going to like about this game. And it's like, okay, so people will get a kick out of that. Earlier in the review, Griggs did not recommend his followers to purchase the game. He stated, I think the game is going for $40 brand new. So if you're paying the full $60 and you're not a Joe fan, I cannot recommend it. I do not think that as a non-Joe fan will care about this game. So he just kind of lays out his thoughts on it. And then now, more recent videos, he received an email from the game's developers. Griggs explained, I received an email from the company, and they thanked me for my review and criticism and asked me if I would be willing to have a conversation with them.
We're going to send our representative.
Right? He may or may not be armed. Make sure
he just be wary if he shows up in a reflective mask and talks about how he wants to feed the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
And he says this line, and I think that's kind of why we're all surprised. He elaborated, that is unbelievable because that's all us fans have ever asked for is just to be heard. Just listen to us. You don't have to do what we say. You don't have to do exactly what we're asking. Just hear what we're saying. Hear out our criticisms. And it did sound from what I quoted there like you saying anything too mean. It's just, this is just going to be mostly popular with Joe fans as opposed to a broader audience that might be interested in a military/tactical first-person shooter type game. And it's like, well, okay, we do want it to appeal to those other people. And it's like, so you asked? Why didn't the devs just call him a bigot, racist, sexist? Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Call them if
they were going to do that, Polly, but they were trying to cast a black girl for Scarlett's role, and it was taking up a lot of time.
The CEO called him directly. I mean, that's fucking crazy. I mean, Geeks and Gamers is pretty fucking big, and you don't want somebody with that kind of reach. Why not reach out as opposed to saying, well, obviously this man's a white supremacist who votes for Trump, so why would we care? Toxic fandom, et cetera, you know.
I'm looking at it. Number one is really kind of cool because it's a team-based third-person shoot.
Okay.
And one of the really cool things about it too is that like it's one part something like say Overwatch where each character, because you get to choose all the different kinds of characters that either between the Joes and Cobra, and each one of them has their own like specific kind of skills.
Yeah.
At least for the ones that are in the release trailer, you can play at least on the Cobra side, Baroness, Cobra Commander, and Storm Shadow. And on the Joe side, Duke, God, what's his name? Snake Eyes and Scarlet. So just looks really cool to me. That you can like pilot the vehicles too that are in the GI Joe stuff. So anyone who's familiar with the GI Joes as like a property, so like whether you watch the cartoons, read the comics, or played with the toys, you should be able to get right into it.
Yeah.
If you play a Snake Eyes, do they automatically mute your mic?
They should. They really should.
That's good. That's good. Vol Potato says, who's making the game? Naughty Dog Studio making that game.
No, it's actually Iguana Bee Fair Play Labs.
Why do they keep talking about Naughty Dog?
Naughty Dog is the company that didn't listen to its gamers and
Oh,
said go fuck yourself when they released Last of Us 2. But yeah,
right, here it is. So after all the battles with Naughty Dog and with Lucasfilm, these other companies and studios, we finally have. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Iguana and Fair Play Labs. Good on you, man. The game looks really fucking cool too. I think I may pick it up because I like GI Joe. The idea of a third person shooter like this is fucking cool.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there it is. You don't hear much about that. That's why I wanted to I what, you didn't call him a racist? He's white. I don't understand. Why didn't you get your stands over on Twitter and a bunch of fake bots to call him names and get the pitchfork crowd
That
after
it's
him?
news when you don't call someone a racist.
Right? Fuck it. I keep saying peak 2020, but Jack, I think you just got new peak 2020. It's news when somebody wasn't called a racist.
Right? So here's the complete lowdown of characters you can play as: Lady J, Snake
Woohoo!
Eyes, Scarlet, Duke, Roadblock, Storm Shadow, Destro, Baroness, Cobra Commander, and Zartan.
Oh, Zartan
That's pretty
too. Nice. You think you can go full camo when you're Zartan and like chameleon disappear?
Yeah, yeah. In fact, actually, that's part of the trailer. Zartan
Sweet.
can like straight up go invisible.
Oh, that's
Cool.
awesome.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Everybody criticizes, looking at you, Lindsay Ellis, stuff like G.I. Joe and Transformers and saying, well, those cartoons and comics were really just created to sell the toys. And they did a fucking great job. Shut up.
Because they told great stories.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, if they were just for toys, these guys went the extra mile. So shut up.
It was entertaining and the toys were awesome on top of that. So you had good quality products on both sides. That's a winning equation. That's what these people are really upset about because they can't do that.
Yeah, you know what? It's not my fault that Gem and the Hologram sucked.
Which one, the TV show or the movie?
Oh God, the TV show is way better than the movie, man. Have you seen the movie? We watched it on Bad Movie Night, me and some of my IRL friends, and it's movies where you end up your attention is gone and you end up having a separate conversation where yes, the whole movie played, but you can't say you watched the whole movie, if that makes sense. Because it was just
it's
so
Triple X2 State of the Union.
the one with Ice Cube.
Yeah, one of the worst movies.
You end up talking through it. So yeah, the whole movie played, but I can't say I've seen the whole movie, Gem and the Holograms. It just okay, so you know what? We're gonna do something fun before we move on to the titular story of the stream, because that's gonna get a little intense. So let's do something fun first. And our Australian contingent, this is for you. Australia bans import of hentai and other adult anime products from Japan.
Ooh.
Yeah, get your VPNs, guys.
Yeah.
In an escalation of the country's campaign against anime and manga, Australia has banned the import of adult anime media and products, including hentai, into the country. I don't know. I feel Western Australia is responsible for this somehow.
Yeah.
Australia, get your politicians in order, dudes. What's going on down there?
Well, they this is far beyond just hentai and shit like that too. Most Australians, if they want to play like good violent video games, they have to order it from Play Asia. They can't get it through regular Australian means.
Yeah, I mean that's been around for a while, but it's ridiculous and it's getting so much worse.
Yeah.
Okay, this new ban was reported by a popular Japan-based anime retailer, J-List, who informed their customers on October 14th that Australia is killing off any chance of waifus entering the country because we had to stop shipping there. DHL Japan called us last week, informing us that Australian customs have started rejecting packages containing any adult content. They then advised us to stop sending adult products to the country. Following that, current Australian orders with adult items in them are returned to us this week. Waifus sent home. Now I'm going to scroll real fast past this anime girl statue because last week's problems. Oh, look at that sexy. J-List then stated that adult items banned by Australian customs include Anna holes.
Ona holes. It's a male jerk off device.
Like a fleshlight, isn't it?
It's like a fleshlight, yeah.
And they called it Anna hole?
Yeah, Ona hole. Yeah.
name Anna?
That's a little on the nose, isn't it?
That's it's Japan, dude. They say what they mean there, I guess.
Hentai manga, foreign, cast-off figures, Jav DVD. Jav? Oh
Dojinshi.
no.
You know what dojinshi is?
Is that the gay porn you're into?
Relevant. No, that's yaoi.
Yaoi,
no,
it's you're into. Okay.
Oh, fuck you. Dojinshi, it's relevant. It's fan created comic books,
Oh, okay.
usually of an adult bent.
Like Deviant Art.
Not really, because it's professional artists, but they
Oh.
they essentially are fan made, like off hours, professionally done, professionally printed, professionally published, but independent, with characters that they don't own the license to. Put it that way.
So
Yeah,
get this.
Australia's sounding a lot like China lately.
Well, yeah, you got Prospero says, "Wow, it sounds like China." I
Oh
just-
yeah, great minds.
Oof. I love this final line where it's and Jav DVDs. Most of it's pixelated when it comes to. Jack told me. Okay, so anyway, as to why these items are now banned from this country, J-List pointed to the Australian customs ban on quote illegal porn, which includes child pornography and publications, films, computer games, and any other goods that describe, depict, express, or otherwise deal with matters of sex in such a way that can offend against the standards of morality, decency, and propriety generally accepted by the reasonable adults are not allowed.
Oh, just for those who don't know what JAV means, too, what JAV stands for is Japan Adult Video. Japanese
Or
adult video.
best video.
Or the reason why Jack has multiple terabytes of external hard drives.
So we
Yeah,
just
so there it
beat down
is. You know,
That
look at this
baby.
picture. Okay, well, there. Oh no, hold on. There's press and titties there. Hold on.
Yeah.
Make of that what you will, but the best way, if the stream goes down, you guys will know why. We'll be able to zoom right in on the cause. Okay.
Don't snitch on us, Australians, please.
Make of that
We
what
know
you
we've got all
will.
of you in chat.
But the best way to avoid getting anyone's hopes up of receiving something new, shiny, and for adults only is to cease shipping adult products to Australia, concluded J-List. We're incredibly sorry about this. Unfortunately, we can still ship anything else that isn't an adult product to Oz, so maybe they haven't banned all the fun yet. Jesus.
Evolve said we have a lot of Chinese businesses here that have been exerting their influence in politics. That doesn't surprise me. What these producers need to do is hire a third party to create a business in Australia, so it's not imported. They're producing it there.
That's native waifus.
Yeah.
That's what needs to happen. Yeah, Aussie-born best girls. Yeah, come. There you go, guys. A big glut in the market is opened up for you, or a space in the market's opened up for you. You got to get on it.
But if you go to jail for that, I'm not responsible.
So if you're
Just for
if you have any drawing skills and you're in Australia, you might want to think about starting to do custom art. Come on.
Well, can you imagine the corner share of the market that an Australian Project Melody would have?
Mm. Oh, fun.
I don't know what any of that means, so no.
I
You
like
don't know
I
you
like
don't know
Hey
what-
Camel's comment. You don't have to explain to what Jav is to us, because we aren't Philistines.
And say, do you not know what Project Melody is, Jack? I thought we talked about it on CBC. I could be wrong. It was causing a big stink with a lot of cam girls on fuck, what's the name of that one cam site?
It's a
Chatter.
it's a virtual cam girl, bro. Like
Yeah.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, she's an anime cam girl.
I don't remember. Yeah, okay, I remember that now. But yeah, this is stupid.
Yeah,
That-
functional
it's
is a
just
good
been created-
point. Aussie should get together and raise hell that they're doing it specifically because of race and ethnicity. They're doing it because it's coming from Japan. That's
Yeah.
all that's going on. This is just bigoted as hell.
China hates Japan, so that's banned. Yeah, all this is going to do is drive it underground and make it black market good.
Psst, want some hentai?
I got some hentai DVD.
Yeah,
I can tell you.
Sort of like an anime convention, they're gonna have a bunch of bootleg shit behind the table that if you know what to ask for.
Well, that's actually a good point because you know where 99% of all bootlegs come from?
Mentions.
Hong Kong.
Oh, really?
Yeah, of course. Which the Chinese are making money off of.
So you can now go on to, with your VPN, of course, make your way to an online retailer and buy a like new Oni hole.
Dude, and you can't get a VPN unless
Wait, hold on. Did you just suggest that the hole in which you fuck it belongs to a demon ogre?
I just don't care anymore. Anyway. Okay. Listen, Yowie fan, I don't want to hear about it from you. Okay. All right, you know what? It's time for that story. The titular story, if you will. And let me tell you where this story began for me. I'll tell you where the story began for me. And then I only realized how far it had gone watching an Umbrella Guy stream or video last night. All the stuff that had happened on Twitter. But here's where it began for me. This is a DM conversation between Jack and myself. And Quiz is in there too. But Jack posts this link to a Variety article. Simply says, Avengers cast assembles for a Joe Biden fundraiser. And he writes, I hate celebrities. This was on Monday at 1:44 a.m. And I responded shortly thereafter and said, if invited, it's not like you couldn't show up. They'd be talking trash and trying to ruin your career the next day. Jack replies, true, which makes it even more disgusting. Bunch of backstabbing drama queens. Hollywood is censored. I'm not going to, I blocked out what Jack said there because I'd still like to have a channel. Let your imagination do the work, what he called Hollywood. Yes, we predicted what happened, but not because we're smart, in my opinion, but because it's incredibly predictable what happened. What happened? Chris Pratt didn't show up for this fundraiser, this online fundraiser. So what happened? The virtual pitchforks came out. It was the 3 days of the long knives, and they've been after Chris Pratt, calling him every name in the book since. The poor bastard. Go over here to this, and then bring up the tweets. That's all he did, guys, is not show up for this online thing. So what you have is his fellow castmates, Chris Pratt's fellow castmates in the MCU, come out and defend him and say, like, guys, stop going after him, sort of thing. And James Gunn saying, sorry, finding out about this nonsense. Pratt, which is Chris Pratt's Twitter handle, is the best dude in the world. I've spent hours and hours sharing my deepest truth with this man. Please stop assuming what he believes politically or any other ways just because he's a Christian. Mark Ruffalo got involved. You all, Pratt is as solid of a man as there is. I know him personally, and instead of casting aspersions, the irony for this man. Instead of casting aspersions, look how he lives his life. He is just not that overtly political as a rule. From this fucking guy, this is a distraction again from this guy. Let's keep our eyes on the prize, friends. We are so close now, meaning to winning the election, blah, 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 right?
He had to bring it back around.
Of course.
Biden.
And then Zoe Saldana, she quotes Tupac Shakur, no matter how hard it gets, stick your chest out, keep your head up. You can handle it. You got this, Chris Pratt, your friends, family, and colleagues, and anyone who's ever crossed paths with you knows your heart and your worth. Possibly the most impressive thing would be Robert Downey Jr. saying, what a world. The sinless, quote unquote, are casting stones at my brother Chris Pratt, a real Christian who lives by principle and has never demonstrated anything but positivity and gratitude. And now he has just married into a family that makes space for civil discourse and, just plain fact, insists on service as the highest value. Here's the quote that I love. If you take issue with Chris, you've got a novel idea. Delete your social media accounts, sit down with your own defects of character, work on them, and then celebrate your humanness. Chris Pratt, I've got your back. Okay. What was the result of all of this? Well, the long knives came out again, and all of the people that you see on screen came after for having defended this man. Here's all of the tweets that are leveled at Ruffalo.
Get your steak sauce ready, everyone.
I'm not going to read all of these. Just some of my favorites, possibly my most favorite was, I hate white men.
Oh no, my favorite one is I think on the last page with the say the words.
Oh yeah. The say the words one is, yeah, it's here. I'm once again reminded that men are trash. I hate you and your quote friends. So God, all of you are rich, white, hetero, annoying bitches. Just shut the fuck up. Seriously, shut the fuck up. What is wrong with you, stupid fucking idiot? Now keep in mind, this guy loves the Twitter mob, Mark Ruffalo. He sicks the Twitter mob on people all the time. You should see the shit that the vitriol that this guy personally unleashes and hopes gets unleashed on other people. And now they're coming for him. I wonder how he feels.
Yeah, I love that that this is the social justice bed that Mark Ruffalo has made for himself, and now he has to lie in it. My PayPal is still open there, Mark.
He supports a literal white fascist supremacist. I don't care if he's not overtly political. Associating yourself with someone like that is violent. So fuck you and him. Wow. I just want white men to start shutting the fuck up. This is great. You know, Mark Ruffalo, see, here's the thing. I'm going to give you some advice, man. If you actually believe the intersectional bullshit that you're saying, as a straight white man, you do need to shut the fuck up, and you need to stop stealing film roles from marginalized persons. For real, though. Unless, of course, you are not willing to accept that, in which case you need to revisit the whole intersectional thing, because that is what it requires of you. And you think you're somebody of worth? Like, just as an individual on your own, not because you're famous or wealthy or whatever? Well, you're wrong. Intersectionalism will tell you that you're wrong about that. What you are is bigoted by nature and irredeemable by nature.
So you think that you're going into that role playing the Hulk to provide for yourself and your family, you know, your wife and your offspring? No. See, that's the thing, is that once you are indoctrinated within the certain Church of Social Justice, you must always and forever be part of the cause, Mark Ruffalo, because the moment that you are not is the moment they get out the pitchforks and you get put on the pyre as well.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, hey, Blast in Stashing Comics is here. People just stop by respecting others' opinions, right? That's all they did. They stopped by for a little inclusivity. It's you know.
Look, this whole thing with Mark Ruffalo, he's such a hypocrite, because what does he do in the movies? He transforms into a person of color.
Hmm.
I'm just saying, he's a hypocrite. He says one thing and lives another. He literally transforms into a person of another skin tone, a melanin content, and appropriates Hulk-like culture. Like, Gamora must be pissed.
Now, obviously, I'm going to focus in on Mark Ruffalo first because he's Ruffalo. We fucked with him for so long. He's our mascot on the show of sorts because he does it to himself. It's not like we picked him out of thin air or whatever. He is a commie. He is the guy who promotes intersectionalism. Everything's bigoted. Everything's racist. Everything's sexist, until you stood up for a guy and said, hey, I personally know this guy. He's actually really straight up and he's a kind man. And you just got called every name in the book. See how it happens, Ruffalo? This is what you've sicked upon or helped sick upon I don't know how many fucking people. Why? Like, I don't really believe that anybody learns from one incident. They're going to think, oh, well, you know, people are really hot, and ultimately this is all Trump's fault. Remember what Ruffalo tweeted when Chris Evans, man who played Captain America and Human Torch, accidentally sent out a dick pic on Twitter. He tweets at him, don't worry, you can't embarrass yourself while Trump's in office. I mean, you think somebody like that's going to learn a lesson off of one night of the long knives? No.
I hope so, but I doubt it.
Yeah, Gamer Valine, thank you for the donation. Well, maybe Brie Larson didn't treat everybody like garbage, especially her male counterparts. Then people would have stood up for her. Well,
Okay, here's the thing. 90% of the like I'm just gonna come right out and say I've been following this ever since early in the morning when I first found out about it. There are many people that have immediately come to the whole thing about from either side of the social justice argument, right? Where they sit there and say things like, well, where was this sort of support for Brie Larson when she was getting attacked by the online hate mob and stuff like that? There's no winning with people like this. You have a narrative, stick to the narrative, and if you deviate from the narrative at all, you become persona non grata. And Mark Ruffalo is now learning that.
I mean, I don't
Like,
know, but I'm just going to speculate that the reason people didn't come to Brie Larson's defense, like her fellow cast members and stuff like that, is that it really does. Everybody says that Chris Pratt, like, he must be the kindest guy in the world from the way that everybody has this guy's back and all the nice things said about him, right? I don't think Brie Larson's like that at all. So nobody.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. Chris Pratt seems like a very nice guy, and if it came down to it, I would absolutely have sex with Brie Larson or Zoe Saldana just to lay down some cover fire for him.
Well, speaking of which, and some people have talked about it in chat. I like that Ruffalo's getting it. Zoe Saldana is getting it as well in really, really awful ways. I don't know any other way to say it. Like, I'm gonna have to constantly censor stuff like black and stupid. Shut your coon ass up. You will die in 7 days. Just a nasty biracial woman, which has what to do with what?
Nothing. Look, 7 days. Did you watch the Ring video?
7 days.
Like this the fucking crazy town. Oh, now the conditional N word is going to preach to us. I hate monkeys. What are you? What?
Yeah, I say that it goes to show that when you deviate at the very least, they in the very least they will jump on every single fucking racial slur they possibly can. It's disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. It's not hard to hold the principle that saying anyone saying these sorts of racial slurs is bad, regardless of context. This is not an okay thing to say.
Look at
these are the same people who would demonize literally anyone else for saying the same goddamn thing.
Look at the people race checking her for wrong thinking. Do you know that you're black? He's following white supremacists. Have some fucking dignity. I got nothing. I'm tired of defending your cracker loving ass. Shut up. I'm laughing at I don't know, consternation. I don't know what to call it.
Like the Unimind.
I mean, again, like people have been saying in chat, this is the inclusivity. They just stopped by to include some people and offer some diversity of thought, apparently. Fucking hell. Guys, all he did was not show up for an online fundraiser. You attacked, a whole bunch of people attacked him. Then his fellow co-stars said, nah, man, he's actually really chill. And this is the result.
To be fair, he's also a Christian.
Well, right.
Let's put it this way, Polly. You've asked before about things that could probably turn the tide against this sort of trend that's happening.
I'm just gonna get this off the screen. It's fucking hell. Sorry, go ahead.
This is, I think, one of the things that can turn the tide. I think this sort of thing will definitely make all of these people who constantly talk the massive amounts of shit from their privileged towers in their Hollywood mansions, talking about how literally everyone else should live. They will see now that the moment that they step outside of the orthodoxy and the Church of Social Justice, the moment they are branded as a heretic, they get this sort of backlash just for saying, hey, the guy that you're demonizing is not quite such a bad guy. I think this will be a tipping point. This will be a tipping point. I sincerely hope it is. Put it that way. That's the optimist in me.
I would a couple of people are saying, like, with the pixelization, yeah, I don't run it like 1080 60 frames, but what I am going to do is put this link in Twitter. If you are I'm not telling anybody what to do. This is not a bully stream.
Not a bully stream.
It is not. But if you feel so inclined, you have the option of retweeting and possibly commenting upon this collection put together by Data Racer, who did look at all this. This is a lot of great work. Cataloging a selection of the insanity, and this final page here is all blue check marks. The first page is against Ruffalo and James Gunn, spreading over to that insane shit that was being said to Zoe Saldana, which is, over here, all blue check marks. So it's not, people are claiming in certain spots that, so what? Unknown blank accounts that people created 5 seconds ago just to say some dumb shit. It's all right-wing trolls that are doing it. It's not real people. Really? Then why all the blue check marks coming out? This was Quiz's favorite comment, and I understand why. Avoiding the topic in this day and age is not cutting it. Silence is complicity. If he doesn't want people to see it that way, all he has to do is open his mouth and say the words.
Say the words. Write your name on your confession so we can nail it to the church. Otherwise, you're going to hang with all the other heretics and witches.
Come on, Chris. Say there's 5 lights.
So saith the Inquisitor. Thank you very much, Johnny Hellcat, for the donation. The way this is reading, you'd have thought they were talking about Amos Yee.
I mean, that would be served, but
it does go on and on. A lot of people saying just the blue check marks are coming. He doesn't have the option of not being political, Mark Ruffalo. That's not a choice. Not being political is not acceptable as fascism emerges in America. Get fucked, Stephen Pasquale. Not being overtly political is one of the most political acts that there is. You're insane. You realize that, right? I mean, that was the chant of Marxist revolutionary cadre in the late 60s and early 70s. There are no spectators to a revolution. You know what that allows? For them to bomb civilian targets as they planned to do and did do. Everybody's a target, because if you're sitting back and not doing anything, you're not fighting on our side, you're complicit, which means you're the enemy. Do you know the kind of incredibly nightmarish things that have been done with that line of reasoning in recent history? Everybody must think like me. You must be involved. By that logic, somebody who is on the other side of the planet isn't flying here to get involved is somehow complicit. This is full crazy town. This is what happens when you're on Twitter and you're just in a group of people that gut check each other constantly to see who can be more hyperbolic and who can talk more over the top and who can be more angry and more outraged. You do the luxury of not having to worry about your pal endorsing a church that supports a form of abuse that has led to countless suicides of LGBTQ plus kids must be nice. James Gunn responds. It disavowed conversion therapy. This is the particular church that Chris Pratt belongs to. Years ago. You know who hasn't? The Catholic Church. So why aren't you railing against Stephen Colbert, Martin Sheen, etc.? Actually, the Catholic Church does not endorse conversion therapy, James Gunn. Get a fucking clue. They don't. They know. But I don't really know where you're getting that from. I didn't even know that Stephen Colbert and Martin Sheen, I realized they were raised Catholic. I did not know that they were still Catholic, especially Colbert, but, So against your LGBTQ friend, like your very fine friend, Chris Pratt, not political is not an option. I think we're done with this. It's just, let me just post the link in chat and you guys can go check it out. And sorry if you weren't able to read it because I run it low res and like poor potato. It's give generously.
The couple things I can bring up here. Almost all of these people who are blue check marks, guess what profession they almost all share?
Oh, journalist.
They're almost all journalists. Yes.
Really? I was guessing.
Yes, they almost are all journalists. The one dude that I quote tweeted, and the one that I said is my favorite, the say the words guy. He's actually an indie game developer. But I love what I quote tweeted him. The thing that I said was, because it is my name, because I cannot have another in my life, because I lie and sign myself to lies, because I am not worth the dust on the feet of them that hang. How can I live without my name? I've given you my soul. Leave me my name. From John Proctor is being told to sign his name to admitting to witchcraft when he is not a witch.
And it's something worth looking up on YouTube if you wanted to see how I define overacting.
Fuck you, man. Daniel Day-Lewis is a goddamn treasure.
Oh, right, he is. Sorry, Jack. What'd you say? I cut you off there.
Oh, then they crushed him to death with rocks.
Oh, yeah, that they did. But it was no, it was a pressing, not a crushing. It wasn't.
It was oppression, all right.
And I did not. Prospero's pointing out in chat that Gunn attended a Jesuit high school. I didn't know that. It's nice to see these bitter after the fact. Thank you, Rodline, for the donation. Honestly, can't get my head around how these so-called inclusive people are always the most hateful, bigoted, and intolerant people. Some of these things that they say, the cavalier way that they would destroy a person's life. It's both pathetic and scary. That's actually very well said. Very, very well said.
Well, they're a lot like the modern Marie Antoinettes. They're so disconnected that they don't see the results of what they're doing, and they don't care because they never have to live with any consequences. There's no blowback for destroying someone's life these days.
Mm.
It's shockingly accurate. Very unfortunate.
If anything, they're going to be rewarded socially for this because people be like, "Oh, great comment! Oh, that's awesome! Good job! Oh, you doxing that guy and ruining his life that was awesome." Yeah, this is fucking evil.
Yeah, it's what happens when you encourage echo chambers.
Yeah.
When that I personally think you want to see a lot of the shit on Twitter get cut the fuck out. Remove the mute and block feature. No one can mute or block anyone. People will be a little bit more mindful about what the fuck they say.
Why? Because they'll get ratioed?
Because they will have just as many people being able to come in and tell them that they're fucking stupid as they have all of the other people that are in their little camp patting them on the back.
Look, what we really need to do is destroy Twitter and just everybody go outside and make friends with other people.
I could agree with that too. Fuck Twitter.
We're going to move on. I think it's worth doing it. And you guys are going to have to explain this story because I'm not aware of the details. I know you guys were talking about it in depth, and I was reading what you were saying there, online DM. Yeah, you guys just know the details. Dragonlance authors sue Dungeons and Dragons and Dragonlance authors sue Dungeons and Dragons publisher Wizards of the Coast. Authors, I'm going to be able to English. Trust me, it'll work. Authors Tracy Hickman and Margaret Weiss are suing Dungeons & Dragons publisher Wizards of the Coast for breach of contract. According to court documents, the pair were working on a new trilogy of novels set in the Dragonlance universe. At least one manuscript had received approval when the publisher pulled the plug on the project. And where did this go from there? Like, what was the big deal, guys?
Okay, so long story short for this, Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman are really, really old contributors for the D&D franchise as a whole from T. They were one of the original friends of Gary Gygax that helped kind of create Dungeons and Dragons as we know it.
Okay.
And they had written. They're also really renowned fantasy authors. Outside of the stuff that they did for TSR, they did a whole bunch of other fantasy novels, really well known for it. But the major thing that they're known for is Dragonlance series and the Ravenloft game module. When TSR was bought out by Wizards of the Coast, Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman had written several books in the Dragonlance series of books. There's fucking novels for that aren't written just by them, but they had a whole bunch of novels published even after Wizards had acquired D&D, and they were in talks to make a brand new trilogy, which would eventually, I guess, also get in fifth editions game books that they can make because these are novels, not actual games.
Mm-hmm.
Halfway into, or most of the way into the second book's production, they pull their funding and cancel the project, reneging on the contract, and in so doing, also kind of doing tortious interference with other publishers based around it's kind of explained in the lawsuit, but there's a little bit of tortious interference in there as well. And Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman are suing Wizards of the Coast for $10 million because of that. And one of the things that they're citing too, that a lot of Wizards of the Coast's problems that kind of lead it to them canceling the project and leaving them with manuscript fully written and one other book half written and in the lurch with no other job prospects is because of circumstances that Wizards of the Coast had done. Things like they allege sexist hiring practices and racist hiring practices, and then other controversies earlier in the year, like whole orc thing that we we talked about here on CBC about how orcs are racist apparently.
Yeah, formerly Rodline just in chat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of the controversy that they're talking about as well. So it's all of this stuff that had absolutely nothing to do with Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman contributing to Wizards of the Coast canceling or straight up unfulfilling a contract that they had and they're seeking damages.
One of the other problems that was mentioned in the article is that they Wizards hired a reading consultant to make sure that there wasn't any offensive stuff in the book.
Oh, Jesus, they had an inclusivity reader? What?
Jack?
They hired a sensitivity reader.
Yeah, okay. We both just decided to stop talking so we wouldn't talk over each other, and half a chat just went, oh shit, the stream's done.
Yeah, well, they tried to make changes to adapt to what the reader wanted, but it was becoming where they were having to rewrite entire sections. Because or you can't have like racial insensitivities that this person perceived, and it's becoming a headache on top of that. So all these rewrites, all this other stuff going on, they probably have a pretty good case, and they're going to piss off a lot of fans by this because Wizards has already been pissing off a lot of D&D fans, but going after Hickman and Weiss is a bad move.
Dark Elf, excuse me, it's Elf of Color. Thank you, Gamer Valine, for the donation. The silence being complicit. Have a mind ideology that reminded me of a book all three of you need to read. It's from the Vietnam era and eerily on point for now. The Forever War by Joe Haldeman covers a lot of the issues like the LGBT QWERTY for population control.
I have a copy of that.
Do you? The Forever War?
Yeah. Somebody gave me that a long time ago.
I think I've heard of it. I don't think I've actually.
I'm going to look it up to read a further synopsis. Thank you, Gamer Valine.
Put that in DMs so I can because I plan on going to Half Price Books tomorrow. Because another thing I'm going to do is like the good inquisitor that I am, I'm going to go and buy a copy of the screenplay or the not screenplay play of the Crucible, so that I've got more quote ammunition to use at these people who are going to not back down when it comes to this shit.
Seriously, go watch that Let Me Keep My Name scene, man. It's so bad.
No, it's not. Fuck you, man. I love that. I love that.
No, I suggest you do watch that film because that is Winona Ryder's peak hotness period. That's the only reason that I purchased it from perfectly legitimate sources, just to see
it also has actor acting man.
Well, that's and that's who I'm talking about. What's his name? Daniel Day-Lewis. I've called him actor acting man so much that I've actually forgotten his fucking name. Wait, you have to see him. Like he I don't know. It's like whenever you get stage actors and you put them in movies and you don't have a director that's willing to wrangle the ego on them guys. They're used to having to shout so the people in the top fucking balcony can hear them. And so everything they say is, forsooth, I say that thee are blah. It's like, dude, tone it the fuck down, man.
You need to leave William Shatner alone.
You leave the Shat Man out of this, is what you do. Yeah. The man is a treasure.
I'm an American. I take umbrage at that. I actually really kind of like the animated movie that they needed to cut out with CG. That was the only bit that was bad about
the. Jack Gunsky says, "Hey, There Will Be Blood is fucking awesome." I agree. Winona Ryder's hot. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, let's move on to our final stories before we do pitches. And the final story will be the story that Quiz tried to let out of the bag early. Star Trek actress Marina Sirtis says Kirstie Alley is
I didn't know
dead
this
to
was a
her.
story.
What's that?
I didn't know this was a story.
Yeah.
I saw this shit on Twitter.
This is priceless because this is we've talked about that these people need to be like wrangled and handled by their handlers because
Yeah.
actors and stuff, like it seems like most of them are overly emotional crazy people.
Oh, you don't say.
And it's like as soon as they get social media accounts so they can talk, suddenly you get an idea of what they're actually like. And it's like, I don't want to know you. You people are fucking nuts. It's the writers that give you the lines to say. What's the old line? If it ain't on the page and ain't on the stage, yeah, well, lucky for these two. Jesus. Star Trek Next Generation actor and Lower Decks actress Marina Sirtis said Kirstie Alley is dead to her after Wrath of Khan actress expressed her support for President Donald Trump. Like, it's just so stupid, this back and forth. I am not going to read all of it because it just keeps going and going. But it's like a couple of middle schoolers going, fuck you and your friends. My friends, bitch. Fuck you. Like, that's absolutely the way that it reads. It's you two.
Yeah, it was kind of hot.
Like, both these women, I don't know their ages. Maybe someone in chat can look it up, but I'm thinking they're in their 50s, late 50s, early 60s, something like that. Like, you're old women. Well, not old, but you're well past middle school. What the fuck you doing? Like, so anyway, it starts with Kirstie, I believe in Body Theaton's Alley, saying, I'm voting for @the real Donald Trump because he's not a politician. I voted for him 4 years ago for this reason and shall vote for him again for this reason. He gets things done quickly and he will turn the economy around quickly. There you have it, folks. And there you have it. Okay.
Real quick, Kirstie Alley is 69.
Oh, whoa, okay.
Marina Sirtis is 65.
Oh, okay. Y'all are way too old for this. What I'm about to read. Marina Sirtis' response to what I just read is just, you are now dead to me. Like, who are you? Fucking Sinatra?
Is this going to be like a thing that I can see now between you and Sinatra? Who's going to be Kirstie Alley and who's Marina Sirtis?
I don't want to be Marina Sirtis, but unfortunately that's the... But I don't want to be Kirstie Alley either, but I'm the one who gets told you're dead to me. I don't... Anyway, so...
when was your last audit?
So she follows it up with, this is where it gets hot. Marina Sirtis can't just say you're dead to me. She's like, you are also blocked. I don't need to hear your crazed Scientology BS, which is like... Like, I hear you. Who the fuck wants to hear about Scientology? Looking at you, Samuel L. Jackson. But the point is, what has that got to do with what she just said?
Yeah, she didn't mention Scientology at all in that tweet. What the fuck? Like, don't get me wrong, Scientology is retarded. Everyone knows that, but...
There goes the stream.
Oh, god damn it.
Really?
Sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know.
Wow, you made me actually believe that. I just went to look. Fuck you, Jack, you son of a bitch. I'm like, oh god, it happened. I just... Okay.
Look, I read this and I was a little worried that one of them was going to break a hip.
No. Virgil Grin says, wait, Polly, does Sanute have some issue with you? No, he invited me to come on the AAA stream like 2-3 times. Like, this was months and months back. And I didn't get home early enough to come on. And then it happened again. And then it happened again. And so he just like, you're dead to me every time I would DM him. And then he would like say it in chat. And he would show up on streams that I was on just to write dead in all capital letters because he's Sinatra and that's how he rolls. So
I remember that a couple of... But I didn't know the context. I just see him come in and he's like, Polly, you're dead to me.
No, but that is the context. You know what? That is substantial. At least I did something to him. What did Kirstie Alley do to Marina Sirtis here? Really? Like I ghosted on Sinatra, so at least he had a basis for saying that. She just expressed her voting preference, and all of a sudden Marina Sirtis is like, I'm an angry 13-year-old with a smartphone. You're dead to me. Like,
I can tell you how this happened. But Marina Sirtis was on Picard, right?
Right.
Terrible. Kirstie Alley got to hang out with Shatner.
Mm.
Ah.
Yeah.
Jealousy. That's what it is. This is chick jealousy.
Yeah. And I love this line, like Maria Sirtis tried to like get, I don't know, clever or something. She says, "Hey, Kirsty, next time your electricity goes out, I suggest you call a plumber because that's your demented reasoning. Hashtag batshit crazy."
Didn't she say that she blocked her?
Well, everybody seems to do that these days where they talk about somebody from behind a block bot. It's the equivalent of high school kids whispering while staring at you. You know, they're in their little group and they're like staring at you, talking about you, but you can't hear what they're saying.
It's like Maria Sirtis, like, you know, what the hell are you talking about? Like somebody tweeted, "Oh, this tweet's unavailable. These are all live pastes, whatever you want to call it." I actually, when I put this tab in earlier when I was organizing the stories, this tweet was still here. Somebody said, "What are you doing threatening her life? Isn't that going a little bit far?" Comments like that. And she said, "It means I will no longer watch anything she has ever appeared in, and I have blocked her. She's not actually dead." Geez, talk about being literal. You're going around calling the president of the United States a fascist and a racist and a white supremacist, and you want to talk about literalisms? Go to hell, lady. I to be honest, I don't care that much to take the time, she said in response to, "Why don't you sort out a burning effigy of her while you're
Damn, Darren Mylar.
It just goes on and on. It's just Trump is a politician. He just managed to convince gullible people that he isn't. So how many have been deceived by this evil man is beyond understanding. She responds, Marina responds, "Actually, he isn't. He's a racist, a bigot, a misogynist, and a xenophobe. And people who voted for him have the same beliefs. They voted for one of their own." That's right, America. Marina Sirtis thinks dozens of millions of Americans are bigots, racist, misogynists, and xenophobes, and it's only brilliant, ethical people like her that should decide how the country is run.
So she can go back to the UK and fuck right off then.
Well, yeah, well, I mean,
She from the UK?
Oh, yeah, you didn't recognize the accent? Yeah,
I thought she was Latinx.
I thought that she was just putting it on.
She is of Greek ethnicity, but born and raised from the UK. And this is the line, Quiz, you're going to love this the most. "Does this animosity go beyond politics? Genuine question. No, I've never met the woman." What? Jesus Christ, you are middle schoolers. You're yelling at people that you just know online?
My God. That is hilarious.
You would think that this would have occurred to her how bad this sounded after she typed it. Like, wait a minute, this is going to make me sound incredibly petty. I guess not. Yeah. And then somebody says to her, "I know you're a naturalized citizen." She is. "But here in America, we respect free speech. Please retract your condemnation, Miss Hallie. This is un-American." And she says, "As an American, I have free speech and can respond to evil in any way I see fit." Yes, we all have free speech here in America, Marina Sirtis. Fuck you, you ignorant bitch. Except, of course, I'm doing it on a private platform, so that could be the end of the stream, you know?
You know what, though? I've never met the woman. So. That is going to be a CBC meme. Swear to God.
I do remember this, and we covered this on a previous episode of Comic Book Curation in 2019, June 2019. She claimed that Republicans cannot be Star Trek fans. Well, I'm a registered independent, but I would argue that Republicans can absolutely be Star Trek fans. Like, fuck you, bitch. You don't get to decide what is and isn't Star Trek. Just because, I don't know, you happen to squirt in some producer like that back in 1986 when they were doing casting for TNG. See, free speech, it can be really mean. It's so unnecessary. That's why I say things like that. Like, you can go incredibly over the top for no fucking reason. What are you doing? I mean, and how are you putting me in the position of defending Kirstie Alley? She's crazy. Like, that's
cuckoo pants.
Like, not only is she just a Scientologist, she's had repeated breakdowns, she's had this other stuff, so she says she's voting for Trump, and there's lots of crazy people that said they're voting for Biden. I don't understand how some crazy... Okay, everybody from NAMBLA is going to be voting for Biden. Does that mean I should pass that dispersion along to you, Marina Sirtis? No, that would be crazy town to do that.
Yes.
Would it?
Yes, Jack, it would.
Oh, I was checking. I don't know how any of this works. It seems very complicated to me.
Well, whatever. There it is. Whew. That was a hell of a set of stories, man. As Sinatra would say, you've been newsed.
Yeah.
So, let's move on to that time in stream when we pitch comic books, and we're positive because that's the way we end the stream.
Yes.
With recommending. Oh, right. Yeah, number one nowhere says that. Richard Spencer is voting Biden. So there, Marina Sirtis. Is that an angle that you're an alt-right white nationalist because your voting preference lines up with his? Fucking
Yeah.
crazy town.
Supports space communism.
Star Trek motherfucker. Jesus. So who would like to go first? I'm ready to go if you guys are not.
Well,
I am also ready.
Right, Quiz spoke up first. So Quiz, you
okay.
can go. Hold on, let me just embiggenate the screen here.
Wait, you're putting Miss Marvel on?
Right.
Okay, so
Shoot.
my pitch is written by Steve Englehart, artist George Tuska and Billy Graham.
Really?
Oh yes.
He's making
pitch.
comics now?
What?
Nothing. Go on.
Billy Graham's dead, dude.
Yeah, I know, but maybe he was pitching a 70s comic. You don't know, Jack.
Well,
Fair point.
yeah, you don't, because yeah, I am pitching a 70s comic. Luke Cage, Hero for Hire, and Hire number 9.
Didn't know
This
an
is-
evangelist wrote this, did you?
Showdown with Doctor Doom.
Sweet.
And say this is where angels fear to tread. It starts off with Luke Cage busting into the Fantastic Four's headquarters in New York and just beating the crap out of all of them. He suplexes the Thing. He then goes up to to Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards, and says, "I need to borrow your one of your planes." He's like, "Why?" Because I need to go and see Doctor Doom about a thing. He goes, "Well, Dr. Doom, our old enemy? Right on, Bright Eyes. Your old enemy is why I came to you. Figured you wouldn't mind if I with him piling up a little grief. Besides, you got rockets and Luke Cage don't, and that's a great rush. I'm in a great rush." So Mr. Fantastic sets up the rocket to fly to Latveria. Luke Cage flies there and gets grounded fairly early and has to beat the shit out of Doctor Doom's guards, and then he gets in good with a little spaceman here who's helping all of the Doom bots revolt against Doctor Doom. And then Doctor Doom, they infiltrate his castle, and then Luke Cage has a one-on-one with Doctor Doom, and it's this little panel right here. When my men reported a crazy black man in a Fantastic Four's craft, I knew it had to be you. So the premise behind this comic is that Doctor Doom hired Luke Cage in a previous issue to fight a whole bunch of robots from Doctor Doom that are Doom bots that went rogue in New York for $200. And he stiffed him on the bill.
Holy fuck. He hired a black man, cut rate, and then didn't pay him?
To be fair, $200 was a lot more money back.
Yeah, back in the 70s.
To potentially get killed? Not really. It's just...
So Luke Cage proceeds to beat the shit out of Doctor Doom to the point where Doctor Doom's sitting there, boasting. He's like, "I've beaten the Hulk and the Thing. You think you can beat me?" And it's just because Luke Cage keeps punching him in the same spot in his armor. Apparently, the Hulk and the Thing never thought to punch the same spot more than once. And it ends up with the robot spaceman here pointing down at Doctor Doom, saying, "I'm going to kill you." And Doctor Doom resigns himself to his fate, in which case Luke Cage intervenes and beats him up, and everyone gets beaten up. But you know what? It's fine because right here at the end, Doctor Doom pays him his $200.
But you see, he had to save Doom because he knew that nobody would believe that an alien robot killed Doom. So they just framed the black man.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I love this page. He tries hiring him and he says, man, working for you is a stone drag.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
it's full of 19. Great. The entire run of this series, I think it goes up to issue 16, is available in a trade paperback. But yeah, I love it because this is the one time where Doctor Doom hired Luke Cage to beat Doombots and stiffed him on a $200 paycheck.
Now,
Like-
I understand Cage's anger at that. It's such
Yeah.
a small bill, and you're like, you're stiffing me, you're the emperor of a country? No, man, fuck this.
right, he's the unquestioned monarch of an entire nation. It's $200 man. Just pay him.
Yeah, that was more like 1,000 back then, but the principle still stands.
But I just love it when I heard that a black man was running crazy across my country, I knew it had to be you. Where's my money, honey?
I gotta say that is the quiz. That's the first time I'm ever. Nope, Doom's 100% in the wrong. You fucked up, man. Like that Doctor Doom's my favorite villain, but that's a dumb move, Doom. Jesus, just pay the fucker. All right, Jack, what do you got for us this week?
Alrighty. Share my screen. My pitch today is Batman Superman Annual 1. This is from 4 or 5 weeks ago. And this was written by Joshua Williamson.
Man, is
Art by somebody whose name I can't find right now.
Mr. Mixie Pitlick and Batmite?
Mr. Mixoplick and Batmite have
Nice.
a disagreement over who would win in a fight. And they decide to make it happen.
Nice.
And they create the most bizarre scenarios for them to fight. Like, Batmite goes first and he says, well, obviously Superman is a threat to the multiverse, so Batman would have to kill him. And then when Mixoplick gets to his turn, he's like, Superman would just straight up murder Batman with no reason. It was like a one-page thing. Of course, over the time, these two start realizing that they're being messed with because there's a point where Batman turns the sun red. He's like, wait, I didn't do that. Yeah, you did. You totally turned the sun red. Why would I do that? They don't remember actually doing it. Batman has a kryptonite tank.
Nice.
Do you have any idea how much that would cost?
Not to mention the fact that it would be incredibly radioactive.
Right? But those are all problems because Mixoplick and Batmite don't think like people. They think more like alien, fifth-dimensional people. See, here's the sun turn red. It was hilarious because the story is so ludicrous that it's actually really fun. So picture like just the most inane writing that you can think of, and then twist it to being hilarious. I had a lot of fun reading it. I thought it was a great annual. Annuals are usually garbage, but Batmite and Mixoplick, good times.
Yeah.
And the whole thing started because these two kids were playing. One was playing with Superman, one was playing with Batman. And they got into an argument over who was the cooler hero. So, of course, they had to decide that the old-fashioned way. But there's different art styles for each of the stories. Like, here's Batman hit Superman. It's purposely done this way. It's so much fun. Such a stupid issue, but it was good times. There's comics like I like them, just action-packed, fast-paced, all story in one issue, and it was just an entertaining little masterpiece. So, yeah, with Kryptonite Tank. Remember that?
Yeah, that's the peak moment of the comic.
Yeah, yeah. And when Superman and Batman figure it out, they're like, we won't fight each other. We just would disagree.
Yeah, right.
That was the whole thing. Like, it was fun. I recommend it. Batman Superman Annual.
I am pitching a collected edition this week. One that I just read last week, so I'm gonna have to try and remember the stories. Batman Allies, Alfred Pennyworth. I love this cover so much. Yeah. It is a collection of stories that focus on or strongly feature Alfred Pennyworth, Batman's butler and longtime confidant and armorer and every other damn thing that he needs to do. The thing that I really liked about this is that it starts with really old stories. Like, look how many of them there are. Christ, look at that. It's a thick edition. It is thick. It's available through Comixology if you wanted to grab it, but look how old the editions are. Like, they do a 40s, a 50s, a 60s, a 70s, and 80s and 90s stories. Like, they're not just all recent stories, if you know what I mean. So I had so much fun reading it. Look how old school the first stuff that they put in is. Like, you know, cops and robbers, Batman and Robin type stuff. I won't drag you through it because they're 247 pages in total. It is a thick boy, but absolutely worth grabbing. It is brand new, so it's I forget what the shelf price is. I have a digital edition that I totally purchased, and so yeah, that's why I've got it. But I'm not sure what the on the shelf price is, but by all means, check it out. It's just you can't go wrong with it. Alfred ends up having more and more to do with the comic as it goes on. Sometimes he's just, holy tombstone, I'm turning into a coffin. You're next, Batman. In 30 seconds, you'll be dead to the world. And Marina Sirtis. So on it goes, and like I said, it does reach up to the 90s and early 2000s with Alfred-based storylines. Just a great collection of Batman stuff all the way back to the 40s. By all means, check it out. Batman Allies Collected Edition, Alfred Pennyworth. So there it is.
Golden era to modern.
Yeah. And plus you got that super epic cover. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. That is another edition, and we made it all the way to the end of the stream without getting stopped by YouTube. So who knows what we did last week that they found unacceptable that we didn't do this week, or didn't catch us doing, maybe. I'd like to thank everybody who donated. You guys are so goddamn generous, and it is greatly appreciated. If you can, and if you're interested, please go over to Twitter and retweet the tweet that I sent out. I'm simply at polydub, or at poly_dub. If you don't already follow me over there, and promoting the stream is extremely helpful to us. Even if you didn't donate, we would really appreciate it. Or hit the like button on your way out if you. Oh, I'm back to commenting more often to the comments underneath. So if you're listening in the future, by all means, leave a comment. I get a chance to read them all. And now I'm going to go back to responding to most. Had some difficulties there for a while, but that's over with now. Jack, quiz. Any final thoughts?
Thank you for the donations. You guys are awesome. And go read some comic books. Good ones. And that Alfred Pennyworth book is $19.99 on it.
Fuck, for 247 pages? It's a steal.
Yeah.
Right? A huge book for that. Everyone read more comics, and don't compromise your beliefs no matter what anyone tells you to do. Think for yourself.
Shit. Oh, by the way, once again, in case Pop-Tart just came in the last minute, and everyone's saying great stream. That very much. And there is the tweet to the mass of stupidity and hatred that came at the Avengers actors, except for Mark Ruffalo, who had it coming, in my opinion. In case you want to go read through it yourself in higher resolution, or like it, retweet it, comment upon it if you're so inclined. Not a bully stream.
Yes.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Well, hold on. One thing before we go, Polly. Next week it will be our 100th CBC.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Are you wanting to tease anything for that?
Do you want to just let the cat out of the bag and just tell them what we're gonna do?
Well, I think it might be interesting.
No.
Give them a little bit of an incentive.
Okay. This is episode 99, and we're moving on to episode 100 next week, assuming that my channel doesn't get yeeted in the meantime, which means that Jacob Jett was not just wrong, but very, very wrong.
Called out, Jake.
He said we would never even keep it going, and we made it all the way to triple digits, or at least we will next week. And we've been thinking about what we were going to do to make it special next week, and we are going to do the entire episode as a black and white edition, because we are all fans of black and white comics. So the entire stream next week will be themed the black and white 100th edition issue of Comic Book Curation. So we hope you can be there for that. Jack and Quiz, I know, will be there with bells on.